Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ask Barry V Show. I'm Barry Vanover, and this is Miles Baker. Our show today is brought to you by MartialArtsMarketing.com. MartialArtsMarketing.com, your one place to go find all your marketing material needs for your studio. Business cards, brochures, rack cards, marketing cards, folders, everything that you need for your school, you can find in that one location. And right now, they have Valentine cards on sale. At MartialArtsMarketing.com. I think it's 5,000 Valentine cards for $69. Now, we're going to be talking about some Valentine marketing in one of our upcoming shows, but right now you can go ahead and order those Valentine cards, and then we'll tell you what to do with them in the future. So go to MartialArtsMarketing.com. Mr. Baker, you ready to get started?
Yeah, we had a lot of good questions over the break, a lot of questions to look for, so looking forward to kind of getting back to the show here. This week, we selected a question from Jason K. He asked, what do you feel is the best form of marketing that gets results fast?
Well, Jason, there's not any one marketing method that a martial arts studio can rely on to constantly be successful. But having several proven solid marketing methods and actions, then any martial arts school can be successful. So that's the key. We operate from what we call at Martial Arts Management Group and Premier Martial Arts International, we operate what's called the 9 of 9. There's 9 marketing methods or actions that we do 90% of the time that deliver 90% of our sign-up results, okay? But it sounds like that Jason is maybe in a little bit of a dilemma here. He needs to sign some people up fast. So I guess if I was going to have to sign up a certain number of students, let's say 20 students really quick, I would probably go to our mass intro procedure methods, okay? And I'm going to explain those a little bit. But first, there's two things. There's the will to do something, and then there's the know-how to do something. Let's talk a little bit about the will to do something. Sometimes people's their goals that they're trying to achieve, well, the actions that they're doing are never going to allow them to achieve those goals for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not willing to do certain things to hit those goals. So I urge you guys to always think about the $1 million mindset. Okay, not only always striving to earn money and save money and invest and be a millionaire, but also doing what it takes to be a millionaire. And keep this concept in mind, and maybe you've heard this simply before. If Jason, if I said, Jason, if you can sign up 20 new students in 1 month, I'll give you $1 million. Now, I bet that would change the way you totally think about your school, your business, and signing up 20 students. I'm almost willing to bet he could do it. Right? So it's that same type of intensity and that same type of will that you have to act in all the time. Whether or not there's that $1 million at the end of the month for you or not, you have to act that way. So if that was the situation, Jason, I'm sure that you could go out, talk to some elementary schools in your area, talk to the PE coaches, and possibly go in that month and see 1 or 2 elementary schools and be a guest PE instructor. Right? I'm sure that you could set up some promotional booths on a couple weekends that month. And when you're meeting people, you're pre-registering them for a special event that you're having, which would be that mass intro on the Saturday. Okay, I'm sure you could go onto Facebook and run an ad to all mothers 26 to 45 or 50 about a special event that you're having this weekend, which is really your mass intro. If you had any birthday parties the weekend before, you could invite them to your mass intro. I'm sure you could go out. We just did this. We just made arrangements with our local Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts to visit some different PAC meetings. Of course, when we visit them, we'll be inviting them to the mass intro. So real quick, just so you know what I'm talking about, a mass intro promotions means this. We're going out into the community, and we're going to, whether it's kids or adults, we're going to try to see as many people as we can and do a presentation for them. We're going to get them pumped and excited about what we're doing, and we're going to give them an invitation to come to our school this Saturday to take the second part of that information or that second part of that lesson. And once we've got them into our studio, at the end of our second presentation with them at our studio, we're going to make them a today-only offer, and we're going to create a scenario that's really hard for them to say no to, and we're going to sign them up. Now, to put this in perspective for you, the largest number of people that I ever signed up in one given day, actually, there's 2 huge ones. One is 72 people in Nicholasville, Kentucky, and you can call Sam Hunter and look him up on the internet and ask him for yourself. And I signed up, I believe it was 66 people at Scott McNeely School on one Saturday morning in Plano, Texas, and call Scott McNeely and ask him yourself. Now, that said, a couple weekends ago, right here at our own school, we only signed up 4 people out of 6 at a Mass Intro. We don't always have those kind of results, but it's all of the marketing and efforts that go into that week's promotion to get a certain number of people signed to show up every Saturday morning. So Jason, there's no way you couldn't, with 4 weeks of effort toward Mass Intros, you couldn't sign up 20 new students. Now there's a saying, okay, I didn't make this up, but for right now, I'm going to say that I made this up. There's nothing that's so wrong in your school that 20 new students in 1 month can't fix. Now, that's if you've got systems in place where you collect down payments on memberships, or you're going to get it paid in full on a membership. You're selling equipment packages with every membership, and you have the ability to upgrade your students. Those 20 students you sign up this month, within the next 2 or 3 months, you have the ability to upgrade them to a higher level training program. Those 20 new students in 1 month will give you enough cash flow to help get you back on track. Now, that's why most larger schools, you know, if you've got a school that's having 200, 300 students, their goal is usually that 20 or 25 new students a month. That's why they need that many people to keep that kind of cash flow coming through. So, Jason, I believe in that you can do this. Mass Intros, that's what's going to take probably the fastest thing for my advice to get 20 new students or a fast way of signing up new students.
Nice, very nice. Well, it's the new year, and a lot of times there's schedule changes for the new year, so I thought this was a good question, appropriate time of the year. Tom C. asked, what do you think is the biggest mistake owners make when it comes to their class schedule?
Well, there's 2 mistakes owners make, and we discussed one of them on the show before, and that's not having an X pattern schedule. And an X pattern schedule means that for every child that can't drive themselves to martial arts class, you need to provide their belt and age rank classes a couple times a week before 6 and a couple times a week after 6 to meet the needs of the families in your community where both parents work and don't get off till 5, and they can't possibly gather their kids and get to martial arts class before 6 o'clock. And for those families where mom doesn't work and she can come to those after school classes. Too many times I see schedules where everybody's got their kids' classes before 6 o'clock and their adult classes after 6 o'clock. So that's one big mistake. I feel another big mistake that people make with their class schedules is they have an open schedule, which means a student can come any day, any class they want, where they have their belt and age specific class available. So they could come throughout the week as often as they want to come. And I think that's a mistake because, one, it's not necessary to have your students be able to come that often. Now, my son was in little gymnastics class, and he could only come a certain 2 days a week, right? I think Damon is in basketball.
We don't get to just pick when we go to basketball. There's a specific time of the week.
Gymnastics,
right?
dance studios, so many of them are the same way. In order for those businesses to handle a large number of people, they have to assign those people a certain 2 days a week at a specific time to come. So that way they can manage a large number of people. So I think that's important for a martial arts school as well. One, it's not necessary. And 2, it eats away at your time. Having an open schedule, very often schools that have an open schedule, they also have classes on Friday and on Saturday. It's not necessary for somebody to come 3 or 4 times a week. And you know what? A school that has less than 100 students, or even less than 200 students, you should really only need to be open Monday through Thursday for regular classes and save Friday and Saturday for marketing and special events and specialty type classes. And also to give your staff a long weekend off, Friday and Saturday, Sunday off every now and then, right? So having that open schedule just isn't necessary, and it's not efficient for time management. So those are the 2 main things I see mistakes when I visit schools and look at their class schedule.
All right. Our last question for this week comes from Caleb J. He asked, what are the duties of a program director?
Well, program director, by our description, a program director is really someone that's in charge of marketing and sales. Marketing and sales of the basic new student memberships and marketing and sales of the upgrade memberships. These people are going to be conducting the 2-lesson trial programs or whatever your introductory course is, And they're going to also be doing your upgrade and renewal conferences and upgrading people and renewing students. This is just a very, very important part of especially a larger school's business, because look, face it, to make money in the martial arts, there's certain things that have to happen in a martial arts school. You have to sell memberships, you have to upgrade, and you have to teach amazing classes. And there's different models for this, right? We have an S1X model that some of you heard about. And in that situation, that's a one-man show. That is only one employee of that entire business. But he is both program director, has those duties he has to do, and he has to teach class. But we've changed the way that works, like not having an open schedule, right? Only being open Monday through Thursday for regular classes, in which that one person can do both of those. Now, but with that type of model, you have to understand what the financial goals of that are and what the results could be. Whereas a school that's getting up into 300, 400 students, 500 students, they can't run the S1X models. They need more new students. They need more upgrades. They need more money coming in. So therefore, they need somebody focused on that task of program directing. I just heard, I think I read something on the internet or Facebook, or some consultant was recommending drop your program directors. You don't need a program director at a martial arts school. Unless his definition for a program director is different than mine, somebody has to be doing those sales duties, whether you call it a program director or not, right? Or you have to do a different model, right? So, sometimes you got to be careful when you listen to somebody that is always telling you what you want to hear, right? Because it doesn't always necessarily work out that way. So, Warren Buffett said in his book that unless you learn how to make money in your sleep, then you're never going to be rich. Now, what he's meaning by that is you have to have the ability to use money to make money, be able to take the money that you're using and invest it, whether you're invested in the stock market, whether you invest it in an alternative business, whether you're invested in people to train them to help you compound your efforts to make more money. And a program director is the perfect method for that, for a school owner that's getting some results, making some money, but he wants to take things to another level. He wants to grow his student base, double his student base, wants to double his gross revenue. Then that program director is so, so very important.
All right, that's it for this
That's
week.
it?
That's it, yes, sir.
No more questions?
That's it.
I was
took
just
3.
getting on the roll.
We had a
roll.
ton. We just had a ton, but these were good for the day. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.